This video is brought to you by the 3-Minute Board Game patrons. Keep us independent by supporting us on Patreon. Kia ora koutou and welcome to Defenders of the Wild in about 3 minutes. Review copy used. It has a solo mode. It's a game for 1 to 4 players, playing time is medium, and it's a moderately complex game. In the forest, strange industrial machines have started clear felling trees and creating pollution. You are the leader of an animal community who wants to defend the natural world and smash the machines. The game ends in a win if every single player camp is taken from here and placed onto the main board, and if all factory spaces outside the middle are flipped over. You lose if all 6 factory tiles are on the board, all 6 toxic sites are on the board, and if 2 defenders with the same icon are killed. Variable player powers. Each faction has unique cards and abilities. Action selection. Each card has a number of actions that you can take on it during your turn. Dice. Conflict is resolved with dice. Player turn. Each player chooses a color and places camps on their faction wheel and the pawn. This is the setup for a 4-player game. They then choose one of their 2 leader cards and take the 12 cards named on them. Shuffle these together and draw 3. The board will be set up with a factory stack in the middle and 2 engines out building walls, as well as robots on the factory and in the outskirts. 12 tiles have pollution on them. Each player places 2 of their camps down and their marker. Then each player chooses one of their leaders in secret and places it face down. If you have no leaders in your hand, draw the top one from your deck and place it. Then you reveal. Some will have ongoing effects, others instant effects on the board, some will give group power-ups, and others will move the first player marker. Each card has a number of actions you may take shown in its bottom left, and the full action list is here. You may also discard cards with matching symbols to take additional actions. If you take an action in the same space as an enemy robot, you must roll the damage die. So here we take our first action to attack that robot and take some damage. Movement lets you go to the next space, or if your leader card matches the terrain type, you can move through that terrain and then move into an adjacent space. You can't move through walls, but can use the breach action to make a hole. This hole is permanent. You can take an action to remove all pollution in a space or clear a toxic site, taking a damage. If you take an action beside a factory, the sniper robots attack, doing 1 damage only on the crosshair result. If you breach a factory, defeat the robots inside and remove any pollution, you may take an action to rewild it. You may also take an action to return to camp and may take an action to place a camp. Actions like this will give you support, which moves your pawn along this track. And when it reaches the end of the track, only then may you take the build a camp action. You'll then draw leaders as shown by the number on your board and reset the track. Any damage you take is placed here, and if you take a 4th damage, you'll lose a leader at random. Then reset your health track. If that's the 2nd leader from any player of the same terrain type, it's game over. You may take an action to heal damage though. Then the robots activate, either moving their engines to build walls, building new factories, spreading pollution, or launching hunter robots, all managed with a deck of cards. Why would you like this game? Defenders of the Wild is what I like to call a firefighting cooperative game, a game where everyone works together to defeat an expanding threat before it gets out of hand. It's a tried and tested formula, and Defenders of the Wild does bring some new wrinkles to it. Firstly, the way each player has to select their leader in private removes one classic objection to firefighting co-ops. That is that all decisions are made openly, so one person can essentially run the game for everyone else. And the powers on the defender cards can be quite game-changing if used at the right time. Secondly, it has a very unusual finale, as once you build your last camp, you are out of the game, and the other players keep playing. I'd really recommend it to gamers who do like that style of co-op game. The best thing about this game is the art, and I'm a sucker for cute animals engaging in terrorism. However, my least favourite thing in the first edition of Block by Block was the reaction die, and I'm not fond of seeing that system make a return here. And in general, Defenders of the Wild feels a little bogged down in places, and it just didn't click with me at all. For another game by the same designer, check out Block by Block. And for more animal terrorism, try Root, Defenders of the Wild. Not quite wild enough. And if you enjoyed this video, hit the notification button, like, share, and subscribe to the channel.